citizens of the world.
This is anonymous. This is an emergency notification to those who will listen. Anonymous has seen events unfold throughout the years.
The victims who have lost their homes, had their credit destroyed, lost their jobs, lost their retirement, and lost their ability to live the American dream.
Dear citizens of the global community, we have noticed how corrupt governments have grown more unstable.
It is our duty to acknowledge this and do something good about it. Knowledge is power.
Realize that this is going to happen.
Dear brothers and sisters, the time has come to go within your hearts.
For years we have watched the decline of the dollar and the even faster decline of the euro.
You were warned time and time again, yet you didn't adhere to our warnings.
We are anonymous, and we have awoken.
They call themselves anonymous. They are hackers on steroids.
Police say they have arrested 3 suspected hackers believed to be part of an international network.
A group calling themselves Anonymous has vowed to destroy the Church of Scientology.
Anonymous, the group responsible for Operation Payback, which temporarily crippled the websites of MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal.
We are Legion.
We are anonymous.
Distributed denial of service to Bob the Stackle Trap when bounce attack.
The task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
One family owns more wealth than the bottom 30%, 90 million Americans. Today, the top 1% own 40% of all of the wealth in America.
Suits without a head, get scared and shit. They slash you up with lack of sense of compassion. And justice must be swift. How turn the hurt in the pockets of white supremacists. These nemesis is never this vicious. We troll the net for missions. Evil's your position. Your file's gonna go with mission. What the most they dissing, posturing and speaking out of fear. Super consciousness, our warriors are virtual bombardiers. We don't forget, we don't forget. Expect us once and no one to protect us. Come together as a legion. Internet unite, connect us. We will make a presence. No one got folks on the megaphones. SQL inject intravenously like it's prednisone zone. Rebelling on a larger scale. We Jonas came to slay the where we hip. So they slither and swinging them lizards by the tail. We check their mail, the facing professional looking webpage. When I rhyme, I whip the sequels, catatonic red stage, puddling the message, encapsulated in the rap track. Black facts is project chronology, talking fat gas with a backpack. And I'm the type of person never had that. Destruction, the Chris Fall camp, put away this ass that. We vigilant, the vigilante, highest staking up the anti-cross site script. And Felicia Palmer with bunch the panties, epilepsy foundation, fall from invasion. Turks and Brazilians, Tunisians, even Malaysians.
Gawker website, we pulled up just to see, have a look about what's going on. It talks about the power people now have on the internet if they want to do this.
Over the past few months we have been informed of a new bully, one that we can stop. This bully uses girls for his sexual desires, and then proceeds to tease and taunt his ex-girlfriends. He cheats on his current ones and lies to their faces. Our sources who are all around him, and far away shall not be named, have stated that this young fool, as well as cheating, is in the use of illegal drugs and overly drinking under the age. He is disrespectful in all forms and stays with his group of friends to help him get away with these lies. No more. We will not allow this to continue any further. Our first victim is Keen of Ocean Park, Washington. We have your address. We have your number. We know all about you and your family and friends, and even those who despise you. This is our warning to you, Keen. You end all relationships until you grow and become the man you should be. We cannot tolerate a world with people like you in it. who do not realize those they may hurt are affected greatly. You have 1 week to comply or we will be forced to leak your personal information, starting with your Facebook link. You will know now how bad you hurt that you destroy emotionally, when victims and supporters all around message you the truth of how you affect the lives of everyone around you. If you continue to ignore everyone, and act even worse or try to take your anger out, we will be forced to leak all personal information to the public. We will destroy every existence of your identity. We do not wish to do this, but simply to try and change you to become a better person. You do not need to take anger out on those you know, as they will surely not know what you are talking about. Our source could be a kid that you bullied long ago, or a stranger that witnessed your actions. The truth about you is spread all around you. We will not tolerate any more bullying. You must change your ways and help the world grow as a species. Now it's your turn. For you, the people must spread this awareness around and end bullying once and for all. United by 1 and divided by 0. This must come to an end. Our first target is you, Key. You have been warned. Operation Bully Takedown is locked and loaded. We are anonymous, we are legion. We do not forgive, we do not forget. Expect us.
Technically speaking, they are heroes because they can solve everything. They are up all over the security systems.
Train event, we rage and give a fuck about a cousin called McKay Hatch. Profanity, I spew it for the fucking loving cause I can. And who the hell is you to try to change a man? Operation Payback.
Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis? Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Well, why is America
not the greatest country in the world, Professor? That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes. Tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yet you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. One of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
Radical Avengers, intelligent Israelis with viruses known as Stuxnet. Programming logic controllers and root kids subsets. We need to know, trying to feed the homeless, cops are screaming no. Government and corporate sources.
Imagine for a moment that somewhere in the middle of Texas there was a large foreign military base. Say Chinese or Russian. Imagine that thousands of armed foreign troops were constantly patrolling American streets in military vehicles. Imagine they were here under the auspices of keeping us safe, or promoting democracy, or protecting their strategic interests. Imagine that they operated outside of U.S. law, and that the Constitution did not apply to them. Imagine that every now and then they made mistakes or acted on bad information and accidentally killed or terrorized innocent Americans, including women and children, most of the time with little or no repercussions or consequences. Imagine that they set up checkpoints on our soil and routinely searched and ransacked entire neighborhoods of homes. Imagine if Americans were fearful of these foreign troops and overwhelmingly thought America would be better off without their presence.
Imagine if some Americans were so angry about them being in Texas that they actually joined together to fight them off in defense of our soil and sovereignty because leadership in government refused or were unable to do so. Imagine that those Americans were labeled terrorists or insurgents for their defensive actions and routinely killed or captured or tortured by the foreign troops on our land. Imagine that the occupiers' attitude was that if they just killed enough Americans, the resistance would stop. But instead, for every American killed, 10 more would take up arms against them, resulting in perpetual bloodshed. Imagine if most of the citizens of the foreign land also wanted these troops to return home. Imagine if they elected a leader who promised to bring them home and put an end to this horror. Imagine if that leader changed his mind once he took office. The reality is that our military presence on foreign soil is as offensive to the people that live there as armed Chinese troops would be if they were stationed in Texas. Shutting down military bases
and seeking to deal with other nations with threats and violence is not isolationism. It is the opposite. Opening ourselves up to friendship, honest trade, and diplomacy is the foreign policy of peace and prosperity. It is the only foreign policy that will not bankrupt us in the short order, as our current actions most definitely will. I share the disappointment of the American people in the foreign policy rhetoric coming from the administration. The sad thing is, our foreign policy will change eventually, as Rome's did, when all budgetary and monetary tricks to fund it are exhausted.
We must defeat our foes as freedom goes. They're trying to sniff us out and get the ISPs reversing. The cameras on computers fed to me, Marine Corps, Brick Bradley, man and naked, the Quantico. Maximum security methods with torches trying to go to Aaron Bar forever. You will walk around with slash and scar and patch your car. Executives are worshiping the morning star. It is bizarre. The people are the ones oppressing people. When will the day come we recognize as equals? Electronic money from Satoshi Nakamoto, spending bitcoins on hosts for their photos with no kimonos. Remarkable power, the python is clearance intact. International Federation of Photo Binjack. The script kiddies hacking to the mainframe of big cities. YouTube videos for children showing big titties. No pity for the oppressive and get it through your skulls. We were born to change